Hey guys, welcome back to the Festival Insider Podcast. I'm Emma Capotis.
And I'm Michael Julian.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. MJ and I are super excited to have you here. MJ, how's your week going this week?
Good. I went back to New York. I came back to Miami. I forget where I live now. It's like,
where do you prefer? How's the weather down there?
excellent weather in Miami, excellent weather in New York. I kind of like this back and forth thing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Well, I was going to say things are opening up. Big things are happening. Shows are coming back. By the time this episode comes out pretty much this week, New York is fully open and you've got a lot going on, right?
We have a lot going on. There's a lot of the made shows are going to be back in New York. And then I'm just going to say it. If you guys are listening and you live in New York, or if you want to travel to New York, we have El Row on July 24th, in Gardner, and we will be drinking lots of tequila from 30 p.m. until the bar closes. And so we would love to meet you in person. If you're there, message us. Me and Emma will figure it out. We'll make some kind of festival insider area in there, and we'll welcome all of you.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited. It's my first El Row experience. I can't even describe the feeling of going back to shows. I haven't been to a show since March 2020, and I'm so excited about it. And I can't wait to see New York come back. I just feel like people are going to be on another level. So it's going to be really exciting.
It's full of energy and excitement.
Yes. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, we hope you guys come through. Today we have an incredible talent. She is a singer-songwriter, DJ. Anabel Englund is joining us. She's a California native, and we learned a lot about her story and her background, and she's got a really cool musical upbringing, and we're really excited about the music she's been doing, the collaboration she's had. So yeah, with all that being said, please join us in welcoming Anabel to the podcast. How's your summer been going so far?
Honestly, it's just speeding by. I can't believe June is already passed, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, not yet. Hold on. It didn't pass yet. We got a week to go.
I know. But I guess I'm just thinking in terms of July already,
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you. We're booking shows now for September 2022. So yeah, everything is flying just too fast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys are announcing shows at a rapid rate. It's crazy. I just feel like it was just so slow, and then the switch turned and it's just absolutely nonstop now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about everything? Do you have a bunch of shows lined up?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah. I have a bunch of stuff, in the works, and I just went through a little tour, but I wouldn't say little tour, but I was doing shows every weekend, and then a life event happened, and now I'm just I have a show in Miami in a few weeks, but I'm just taking it day by day. I don't have a ton of shows booked at the moment, but I have more focused on releases and music videos, and a lot of songwriting happening in London in August.
Wow.
So just a bunch of different stuff,
Mm-hmm. That's so exciting. I was going to say, MJ and I are a big fan of your music, and I just feel like even this whole past year with quarantine, I've just been seeing your name absolutely everywhere. And I just feel like this momentum has just been building and building with you for the past few years. And I know you just put out your deluxe album, but how has it all felt for you these past few years?
Yeah, it's felt crazy. I mean, I've really been working hard just throughout my whole life, and it's been slowly building, and my managers and I were we were doing everything that we needed to do in order to be successful, working on music, putting out music. But, the thing was, it's if you don't really have a label backing you up, you don't really have the connections with the higher ups that you need to get your music even heard. Mm. So honestly, I was doing all the things that I needed to do. So when I signed with Ultra, it was all of my hard work was then plugged into this giant machine and then manufactured all over everywhere times a million. And it really helped because I was doing the work, then they were able to do their job. And I had so much music ready to go, and I still have so much music. Like I could release a song every month for the next 2 years plus. But unfortunately that's not really what I can do right now, because like through 2020, things have kind of catapulted, and I didn't understand like the severity of it, because, you know, I had So Hot, MK and Night Lapse remix was like #1 on US Dance Radio for like, you know, a few weeks, and everyone was like, how do you feel? Like, this is crazy. And I just was like, I mean, I don't know. I'm still, I can compare it to, I don't know. It took a while to sink in what that actually meant, like that my song was the #1 most played throughout the whole United States, and that continued to happen with other songs I released and getting #1 on Billboard. So, I mean, I don't think it's fully sunk in like what that even means, but it's been really cool to see that all the hard work that I've been doing and that I had been doing has meant something, and that it really is just like one tiny step in front of the other, and it just builds and builds and builds until something explodes and something catches. And it's, you know, playing shows and seeing that everyone in the crowd is singing along to songs I released in quarantine and had never played out before, like that they knew every word, that was just such an amazing thing to see, that people know my music and they listen to it and they sing to it. And, you know, it's really beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah, that connection. People have just been sitting at home, just listening and waiting to hear these things live. I can't even imagine how you feel, but are you like the type of person that you're just like, go, go, go? You have so many goals in mind that you don't like sometimes allow it to penetrate you and really sink in?
I mean, I think it's a combination between just drive and also like, no matter what I do, I will always be like, oh, well, this is better. So I haven't reached that thing yet. Like that's something that I struggle with, because I really also am working on taking time to enjoy my successes and enjoy the accomplishments I've had, because I think we live in a world where there's always something better and there's always something bigger. And we live in a world where we compare. And I think it's really backwards. And which is why I think 2020 was such an important time, because everyone stopped and there was a level playing field and we all were stuck with, you know, what we had. And I soaked up every minute of that. And, I didn't, you know, put these songs out thinking, oh, they're going to be #1s. I've always just put out music because I like it and I like making it. So to see that it's gotten that, and to see that other people love it as much as I do, I do take time to celebrate it, but I think, I don't know, I could take a little more time, and that's something that I'm working on.
Yeah.
You're making it out like it's a challenge. But you know, it's the truth of the matter is just you love it, you have the passion, and you know, you just want to create. So congratulations on all this success. You know, we are happy for you that the Ultra deal is making it better for you. You know, it's an interesting conversation. I think that is for a different time of how big labels for some artists make a big difference in positive direction, and others feel a little bit differently. We started this podcast specifically because, and we did it during pandemic, but we started because we felt there is a gap between the industry and the fans that we can kind of close and build a bridge and build a stronger community. And you know, I come from the world where I've been in this sector working since I'm a teenager. I'm 43, and you know, Emma's been around for a very long time, and she's very big in the community. And we felt that if the two of us will get together, we can engage the fans in the industry and have really great conversations. And you know, I don't prepare. I have major ADHD and I have zero attention for anything. So I don't prepare for these interviews. I just try to go on the fly. And sometimes I know the guests really well. And so I know their journey. So I know the right questions to ask. And then in your case, I don't know almost anything, which makes it even a lot more fun because I get to discover. But there's always some story with everyone just because, I'm around and I'm doing tons of stuff as well. And the first time I hear your name, it comes from Alex Beckett because, I'm setting out a request for Vels for one of the Elro shows that I'm producing in state somewhere. I don't remember where. And, he puts your name on it and I got to go and Google it because I've never heard. And this is, I don't know how many years ago. I'm assuming 2, 3, I don't remember exactly when it was. And, I look it up and I come to a realization that it's a vocalist. So I go back to Alex and I ask, is this a vocalist or a DJ? And like everything else in life, and this happens to me all the time, Emma already knows, now that your name is in front of me, now I'm seeing you everywhere. Like right away. The minute that first interaction happens, all of a sudden, my friends know you, we have mutual friends, you're doing this, you're doing that, and like everything kind of comes together. And, I'm starting to realize, wow, this is a major voice. And, when you look at like house and tech house, it's not like we have a lot of vocalists, right? So it's like it really stands out in its own category. So it's really interesting to me. And I think to the people that are watching it now is how did this all begin? Because I did accidentally catch something once in pandemic. I believe it was a live stream of some kind. And I was just working and I had the TV on and you were there. And I think Lee was there and you were telling the story, how you were in the crowd and you connected. So that was very interesting. I don't remember hearing the story, but I remember there was something there. So how did you get into this and how did you start doing what's happening now? How did you get to this point?
Well, I mean, such a long story, but I'll try to give you the shortened version of it. I started doing music. I mean, I've done music all my life. My family is a very musical family, at least on my dad's side. Like whenever we would get together for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, my dad would like start playing the guitar or the piano and start singing a song. And then one of my uncles would come over with the bass and start playing. And then my brother would, and my aunt would start singing harmonies. So I grew up in a house that was just very music oriented, that it was just natural, and everyone's really good and talented too. And they have good voices and they're very good at playing the instruments. So music is something that I've always just been a part of. And when I was in high school, I was in a little indie band called Suburban Nightlife. And it was me and this guy, and we would just sing, and I would sing harmonies, and it was really cute. And I think music, I just pursued it, but I also felt like the responsible thing was to go to school. And I didn't really have a plan, but I was just like, well, I'm going to go to school because this is the right thing to do. I didn't know what else to do. So I went to like Santa Monica Community College just to take some classes because that's what I thought the next steps were. But in the meantime, ABC Family, which is now Freeform, found this video of me singing Girl from Ipanema on YouTube. And the head of music reached out to me and asked me to come into her office and play her some music. So I brought my guitar and played some few little songs I wrote on guitar, which wasn't anything crazy. I'm not the best guitar player ever. And she then from there hired me to write a 5-song contract to write 5 songs for the network and also be the singer on the songs, which was a huge opportunity. Like literally I'm writing this music, I'm being put in the room with these talented songwriters and producers. And then my voice is also being played on ABC Family. Like it was crazy. So that was a beautiful experience. But at the same time, as I was doing that, I was also being a little rebel and falling in love with the Hollywood dance underground scene with a fake ID. And I was just meeting all the cool people and like just falling madly in love with it. So although I did fulfill my contract with ABC Family, but there were a lot of rules, and I'm anything but like a rule, especially at that time. I was like not a rule follower. So So at that same time is when I met Lee Foss. Yeah, I went to the Standard and he was playing a DJ set with Jamie Jones. And I connected with Lee Foss. And at the end of the show, like we started hanging out with my other friend and we were all talking. And my friend was like, you know, she sings, right? And he was like, really? Like, sing me something. And I was like, okay. and so then I sang him a song. And literally within the next few weeks, I went back over to his place with MK and we made Electricity.
Wow.
So my contract that was the first song we ever made. Yeah.
What year is this? When is this happening?
I think that was like 2012.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And I graduated high school in 2010. So everything happened really fast. Like
right.
Graduated high school. I went to college for like a semester. Then ABC Family found me. And then I met Lee. Mm-hmm. And then I was working on Electricity. And at the same time, the Hot Natured guys were working on their album. They had already released Benediction, I'm pretty sure. And Lee said to Jamie Jones, he was like, look, I found this vocalist. This is the song we made. We released it on Hot Creations. Like, she could be really good for Hot Natured. So there I find myself like on a first class ticket to fucking London for 2 weeks working with all my idols at the time, like Infinity Inc. and Jamie Jones, Lee Foss. I was like so starstruck and trying to keep my cool working with them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know, I was only 19 at the time. I was in a country I've never been before. I was working with people who I just admired and been listening to all their music. All my friends in LA, like that were older than me, were like, oh my God, Anabel. Like, it was just all crazy. It was all really beautiful. And then, you know, within that recording sessions, we made Mercury Rising, Reverse Skydiving, Emerald City. So we made all the songs that I'm on the Hot Natured album. And I went back home and I'm hearing Pete Tong playing Reverse Skydiving. It was just, everything was so surreal. It all happened so fast. And then, yeah, like all of a sudden, like they're going on tour. We do our first show and I sing Reverse Skydiving. And then it ended up being like the highlight of everyone's show was when I came out on stage. So the guys were like, oh, well, we have to bring Anabel to every show. And that's kind of how I found my footing. I mean, that opportunity like showed me that I really am a performer, that I love performing to the crowd with good dance music. Like, it's just so epic. And I mean, there's nothing like it. And, you know, I did that for the next few years and then started doing my own thing. But it's just been a really surreal, crazy, insane, like roller coaster of an experience. But that's the gist of how things got started.
Fun story. So it sounds like you have music DNA in you because of the family. And, you know, good things and good breaks, they only happen to good people. I don't care what anyone says. So we're happy for you. It sounds like an incredible story. So, you know, what was the first big show that you play solo now or festival since you started doing your own thing?
Coachella was a really big one. I played Coachella a few times, but the Do-Lab, have you seen the Do-Lab stage at Coachella? Or have you been? Yeah.
I haven't been yet, but it looks amazing.
Okay, yeah, it's just amazing. There's like these water sprayers. There's like gorgeous colors up on top in the tent, and everyone's dressed up and on stage. That was a really epic one. Off the top of my head, I mean, I've played all around the world. It's kind of hard to. I think I know which Elro one you're talking about. If you guys did book me, because I've only played one Elro. And it was insane. I mean, there were just a million people there. And that was like one of the first shows before COVID like actually happened.
Fully immersive experience. So back to the Coachella set, what if somebody hasn't seen you live yet? Can you describe what like a live set is like from you? What is the experience like?
Well, I mean, I like to start off slow and then kind of like take people. I like to take people through an experience. Like, I'm not just like 100 all the time. Like, I really do like to start off slow and like bring people in, seduce the people, seduce the crowd. And, you know, a lot of the time people before me are playing really fast, intense music. So I like to kind of cleanse the palate, clear the plate, and then bring people in, because I do have a contrast of music. I have really ethereal, light, like sunset vibe music. And then I also have like late night bangers. So, so it's a good way to start. And I've been bringing my brother on to play guitar with me. So a lot of the time, like he DJs my tracks, and then he'll be playing guitar as I perform. And I have a lot of like dance moves and things like that I like to do, little outfit changes sometimes. And I kind of just like to bring people in through the story of my life, which is what my songs are. You know, they're a narration to what I've been through and what I've seen in my life. So that's kind of the start of it. But I'm also creating something else right now for my shows and finding more people to bring on.
Awesome. I know. I can't wait to see you live. I'm so excited. I've been like waiting all of quarantine, like for festival season and everything like that. So I can't wait to see a live set. But I think that's awesome that you get to incorporate though, like your family as well. Cause I was going to ask before, has your family been involved since in your music career, but just your brother?
Yeah, my dad always wants to make music with us. He's a great songwriter, but I also am like, no, Dad. Yeah. But I probably should. I mean,
you should totally let him make it the Father's Day gift like next year, and like release it without telling him. Like tell him it's a really good idea. Lie, and then just do it anyways.
Aww. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That's so cute.
I'll definitely. That's a really good idea. Yeah, my brother is like my best friend. Like when I hear Billie Eilish talk about Phineas, like her brother, it's just like, it's exactly like me and my brother. I can't imagine my life without him. Like I need him in my life. And he really is just such a light human being. Like he is the sun. If there was a person who was
younger
the sun,
or older?
He's younger. He's a couple of years younger. And he just is this like beautiful, like I'm an introvert. I can be social in certain situations, but it gives me so much anxiety and I fucking dread it. Yeah. But he like, you know, we did this UNICEF like acoustic show a while ago, and I'm like sitting in my corner with, not my corner, but like my little area with my managers, like in my safe space. And I'm like, oh, where's Jackson? Oh, he's over there talking to those people. He was like working the room. So that's what he does naturally. Like he floats around. He's this little social butterfly. And it's like, he compliments me very well. We compliment each other. So
that's super sweet. You know, as a dad, my biggest hope in life is that my sons will always be best friends. Like if that happens and everything else I fail at, I'll still be happy. It's really nice to hear.
I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most important thing. And it's just good to hear how close of a family you guys are. And we hear this a lot with like great artists. I know we were talking to LP Joby the other day, and you know, she's always like best friends with her parents, and you know, all the stories.
Yeah, she's really sweet. I love her.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of names. And you mentioned that you've gone into an underground scene in LA, you know, earlier. Who were the artists that really have become the inspiration for you to want to be particularly in this music? Like who are the inspirations?
I mean, my number one inspiration, which you guys have probably heard, if anyone knows anything about me at all, is that Madonna. I'm like her number one fan. Obviously, she doesn't really make like this type of music per se, but
Madonna.
Yeah.
Madonna. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really know. I don't. For me, it's like, I don't see artists and I think I want to do what they're doing. Like, I just like to do what I want to do or who I want to work with. Like if I have a gut feeling like, oh, I should reach out to this person or this person would be fun to work with, then I just try to make it happen. And that's how it was with Lee Foss. It was like, let me meet Lee Foss and see what happens. And yeah, it's hard for me to say like what.
Yeah, no worries. You know, it's just that you really got into house music. So I thought there was some particular artists that kind of, you know, have made you love that sound a lot, and that kind of led to other things. That's what I meant, not necessarily.
Well, I mean, it kind of started because I was listening to a song, and I'm not going to say what song it was, but I was listening to a track with a female vocalist on it at the time when I was in college, like driving to class. And I was thinking like, this is a really good song, but like, I should be singing it. Like, I know I could do this song better.
Love it.
And then that's kind of what inspired me, was because I felt like it needed me to be there to like sing on these tracks. That's kind of what, I mean, in the most humble way. Like, I just felt like what I was hearing, I felt like there was something missing and I needed to like provide that.
You know, I'll tell you, ironically enough, you know, I've grew up in Brooklyn. We've moved to America when I was 13 and 14 years old. And being in New York and being in the clubs, vocal house was my favorite thing. And I mean, there were remixes of, you know, Madonna and Janet Jackson and Whitney Houston and all these insane vocalists. And most of the stuff you would hear if you went to the clubs here, my favorite was always vocal house. And then it got to the point where vocals were just taken out of house. There was no more.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge supporter for this. I think it just makes everything more, like it engages more people, you know, it makes house music better, bigger, you know, so.
Even just having one saying in a song, like it takes the dance floor from like just being a dance floor where people are drinking and whatever to like having those really introspective moments. Like if you have one question in a track, then all of a sudden the audience is thinking about that question. They're asking themselves. And that's what I think is so cool about the genre that I do, is that I can literally transform what people are thinking when they're listening to it. Because I've had those moments where I've been on the dance floor and I hear a melody or, you know, a lyric. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm questioning my life and everything about it and my relationships. And like, I've had really impactful moments on the dance floor, which is why I like to, you know, mess with people that way.
I love that. You made me just immediately think of Green Velvet for some reason. Some of the lyrics in his songs too do that to me. But I think your partnerships too, though, like with Lee Foss and stuff, I feel like because you have that relationship now for almost 10 years, there's something about the tracks that you do together that just have such a good energy. I don't know, like Warm Disco to me does that. It's just, there's something about that track and you guys working together. That's amazing. And even your new track with Dombresky too. I love the energy of that. He's great. We had him on the podcast a little while ago.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Even now, you know, one of my favorite songs of all times, just because I guess it was played at a special moment and then it was played for like a year before it was getting released, is actually My Love Is Your Love of Whitney Houston, the house version of it, you know? So I was always into this sound. To me, this is next level. It's different, you know?
Yeah. It's cool because so many people love Warm Disco. You just never know what track is going to take. So like literally when people hear the bass come in for Warm Disco when I'm playing it, like the whole crowd is like, oh my God, it's crazy. And then Boogie All Night, we just filmed a music video for it. So watch out because there's going to be a music video dropping like within the next few weeks. And we made an Instagram filter too that I just uploaded that's going to be live when the video is. So it's one of my favorite Instagram filters I made so far. Ooh, I haven't made it, but the label made it for me.
That's going to be, I can't wait to see the visuals because I feel like your outfits and like the whole look that you pull together is so cool. So I'm really, really excited for that. Any thoughts on, I guess, like the future of house music or where it's going? Because MJ and I obviously love to talk about this. We're both big fans of house music and we love the direction of like the uplifting and the disco house that's kind of coming in and tech house, obviously. But any thoughts on where it's going?
Not
like
really.
it's becoming now. The house is becoming the electronic music. That's what's happening now, and there's a lot of different subgenres, and this is why we think you fit in so well into it, because there is still years of taking the fans that once upon a time have come in because they were fans of Tiesto, Armin van Buuren, on those great artists, and over the time they have kind of transformed more into house, and as house has become more commercialized here in States, you and a lot of other great artists are helping this scene develop and this community become bigger and stronger, because it's not like a drastic shift, trance to techno or something like that. So we will, where we sit is we see this becoming basically the main sound. Like 2 years from now, main stage, main hours, either the same artists that were playing before in those time slots, they just playing house, or it's simply house guys replacing those artists. We were wondering what you think about that and where you see it evolving, specifically in States.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think the UK has been so far ahead. Like, one of the reasons why I love going to the UK is because it's like dance music on the main radio stations. And I just love that. Like, when I went the first time, I was just obsessed. And now I definitely agree. Like, I totally see how, like, a lot of the songs on my deluxe album, especially like the recent ones, like Boogie All Night, Don't Say Goodbye, Waiting for You, I feel like they all could be on, like, daytime radio, in my opinion. Like, I think that it is now starting to blur the lines. And one of the things that I've admired about myself is that, like, one of the things I think I plugged into was putting like a verse, chorus, verse on a house music track, like, instead of just one line or something like that, because that is what's helping create it to be like more of a pop leaning track or more of a mainstream track. And I mean, I agree. I do think it's moving in that direction, and I hope it continues to go there, because I think we all could benefit
it makes
from hearing.
me very happy when you say admire about myself, because what you said earlier, when we just started talking, like, you gotta understand, you touching people's lives, you are helping people recognize the sound, you are helping the house music evolve, you're doing a lot. If we didn't think what you're doing is very, very, very special, we wouldn't even invite you to the podcast, because we're limited. We disagree with you. We think you're doing something very special, and we are very proud of you. And we will always support you. And I think I speak for a lot of fans in the industry, that people that are coming organic like you, and just for the love of music, just doing without making big plans, just one step at a time, is the reason why this is an organic growth. And it's not going to be like an EDM was at some point where it almost felt forceful. That's the sound everybody played because that's what they thought sold the tickets. And we all knew it's a matter of time before it phases out, because it was just annoying and arrogant. Right? Yeah, exactly.
I see you see me, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. No, it was so nice getting to know you and speak with you today. My last question for you would just be, if somebody is sitting there listening who wants to be in like a similar position or wants to do what you're doing, like, is there any advice you wish you had been given or could give to somebody?
So there's, bringing it back to Madonna, there's a song she wrote called Extreme Oxidant, and one of the lines is, the thing that hurt the most was that I wasn't lost. And I've gone through so many things and ups and downs, but as you can see, looking back, everything and every experience, even though it wasn't like planned, it all happened to help myself. Like, something or nothing was out there, like, guiding me. And, I was doing half the work, but there was also something else, like, guiding me. And I think for anyone trying to do anything, it's that you're not lost and you are where you're supposed to be. And even though it hurts, like, that's why it hurts is because you think like, well, why am I here? Why is this happening to me? Like, this is so painful. And once you break through that experience, whatever that is, you look back and you're so much stronger, and you don't want to have gone through that, but it's important to, I guess, I'm trying not to sound confusing, but you're not lost is what I'm trying to say. And like, it's so important to listen to your gut. You have to listen to yourself. That's like the most important thing. Mm-hmm. So don't try to be like other people. Like, please just try to be like yourself. Like, no one needs another carbon copy of someone else that's a carbon copy. Get to know who you are and be that. And that's the best thing you can be.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Chills.
Is that not to put you like on the spot of choosing who would be your perfect back-to-back partner or who you want to collab with, but if you had to mention anything in terms of a festival you'd love to play that you didn't play yet, or an event brand, a party in Ibiza, or a back-to-back set, or collab with anything, is there anything very special that comes to mind that you would want to do from
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, one of my goals, which is I haven't done it yet and it's easily achievable, but like I'm dying to play at Red Rocks in Denver. It's in Denver, right? Or Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado. It's Colorado like, somewhere.
Yeah.
When I have, it's somewhere in Colorado, like that's my goal, and I don't know where exactly it is, but like when I have my full band and it's going to be an electronic show, like to be able to play there will be so fucking epic, and I can't wait for that moment, honestly.
When is that happening? When is the band formation? Is this something in plans, or it's already there?
Yes, it's planned. I mean, I just had a creative call with my team yesterday. You know, I have the sound engineer, I have the players. So it's just either like I'm going to go on as tour support for like a bigger act with my band, or I'm going to have my own tour. So it's just kind of like figuring out what and getting it all prepared and being ready for when the opportunity comes.
That's amazing.
Very cool.
Is your brother going to manage it?
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be a player in the band.
I'm sure.
I don't know about manager, because he wouldn't want me to just bitch at him all day. So yeah.
Another degree of separation there. Yeah.
Yeah. We just need that so that we can have fun and be siblings and like just play music.
Mm-hmm. This is exciting.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah. This is really like the missing piece, and I can't wait to like start implementing this in my life. It's going to just be a game changer, 100%.
That is awesome. All right, we're manifesting Red Rocks.
Yes.
Dream venue. That's so cool. Anabel, thank you so much for your time today. We really, really appreciate it. And seriously, we're rooting for you. We're excited to see what you do next. So
we appreciate you. The fans appreciate you, and you appreciate yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, honestly.
I love you. Stay in touch and always count on us to support. So whenever the band comes to traction and whatever, have your team send us whatever you got, and we'll share with our audience and community.
Okay. Also, I'm playing in Miami, July 2nd.
Yeah. We're good friends with the guys that are doing the Republic with Mars, right?
Okay.
So we'll probably be there.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Much love to you guys.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's podcast. We really, really hope you enjoyed this interview with Anabel. Please send us your feedback. We want to hear from you. We are online at Festival Insider on Instagram, Twitter. We're on Facebook. MJ is at the one and only. I'm at Emma Capotis. Where else are we? I think that's all of the YouTube.
Yeah, no, listen, send us your feedback. We hope you enjoyed the interview today. Anabel is great. You know, I really love the vocal house, and I hope there's going to be more, and I hope she's inspiring now others to start working with house music producers. What a great story. Really love that her family is, all music, and that she's close with her brother, and he'll be a part of her next chapter was the band, live band. And we want to bring guests to the show that you guys want us to interview and talk to. And we would really appreciate if you drop us a note and just tell us who you want to see, and we'll work on it for you. And, there's a lot of things that are happening. Our new website is finally up on festivalinsider.com. We got some news and some stories there, but we're going to be scaling it up, and we hope to serve this community well and be here to stay on top of all the news and interesting stories that are happening in the festival world and the electronic music world. And, we love you guys. Hit us up, and please, the only thing I ask for again is comment. Tell us what you thought. We're doing a bad job. No, tell us the truth, because we want to do better. There's always room to improve, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening. We're hoping you're enjoying everything, and we'll be back in a little bit with a new episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey Insiders, thanks for watching this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to our channel, or feel free to check out our recommended videos. Thanks for watching.